Look at that! Oh, I tipped out over most of it on the flipping floor. It just caught the edge of the tyre. Can you believe it? I got a really old can here I'm going to have to transfer it into, but oh! Fail! I'm on the final stages of getting the 35 ready for Dave's funeral on Monday. You might have seen, look, let's have a flashback of where we've been to with it.
Exactly the same as your mum on there. You've got to make a circle of it.
Look at it. We polished it, we buffed it, and we steam cleaned it. And today I'm actually going to just be touching the paintwork up, because there's a lot of things that this tractor needs, and it needs, well, not a lot, but there's stuff that needs doing. Look, I mean, to do a proper paint job, it needs all the oil leaks sorted out there. It needs well, look, that's a different colour grey to that. That's quite a big job to sort all that out. I've got to get steam clean that up a bit more. There's a bit of oil down there. I just need to do all that. But today, I'm not going to do a massive job. What I'm going to do is I'm just touching up. For starters, I don't like this, the two-tone grey there, look. So I'm just going to put the right grey on top of there to match in. I'm also going to touch up a few scratches. Look, we've got like bits there that aren't great. And I've got a little brush. Look, just little bits like that I can just put in. You know, it's polished up lovely, hasn't it? It's really come up well. So anyway, you probably, if you're into classic vehicles, you'll know that you can buy parts for it fairly easily. And I've dealt with this company before. When we used to put parts on our 135, I used to use a company called Agriline. Here they are, Agriline. Anyway, Agriline very kindly have sent me some paint for the tractor. Look, so here we are. There's a package that arrived the other day from Agriline. They sell all sorts of classic tractor parts. Bad timing, the battery went flat again. I'm not very good at keeping my batteries charged up. So yeah, so as I was saying, Agriline, good company, British company, source a lot of parts. I saw them at the Malvern show actually. So they've sent me some paint. Oh, I'm absolutely useless at putting stuff down. They sent me some paint. Let me tell you what they sent me. Let me some. Well, let me just open the package and we'll have a look. Here we go. Look, nice bit of recycling in there. Bit of recycled card. There's the invoice. So we got two cans in here. One is Stonely Grey. That's Stonely Grey. That's the right grey. And then we've got a red in here, which is super red, I think it is. Super red, super duper red, we should call it, shouldn't we? Funky super duper red, super red, which is the red there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open these up. I'm going to use a little brush just to touch up. So let me just sort these out and then we'll have a look. Oh, look at that. That looks smashing, doesn't it? Doesn't a can of paint look lovely when it's that colour? That's super red. Right, I'm going to do some super red. Let's put that on there. I don't need much, so I got myself I've got a little brush. Only a little artist brush, look. Don't need much. And I'm just going to... Even this brush might be a little bit big. I don't really want to... Oh. There you go, that looks better. Right, so I you know, it's the little chips, isn't it? Look. So, I don't know if you can see that. Might need another coat on there. To me, that's better than having it left like that. And also it's protecting the paint. There we go. Right. There's a little bit, there's some big chunks, isn't there? Look. Just here. And maybe I'll revisit this at some point, and if I really want to, sand it down and do it right, but it just detracts from it to me, having those bits with no paint on. And there are only chips where someone's probably taken the bonnet off or something. There's a big grey one to do there in a minute. Right, look. So I'm gonna work my way around the tractor, just catching the little bits like that, you know? A little bit like that that's annoying me. Right, so we'll have a look in when I'm finished, alright? Okay, so I've touched up a few bits, but I think this is where I've messed up. Realised what I've done is put it on after it had been waxed, and so the paint isn't sticking very well to it. It'll be good enough, I think. Oh, I just missed a bit there, look. I think what I should have done, I should have rubbed it down. What I should have done is rub the wax off before I put some paint on it. So what I've done now, it's still sticking, but it's not sticking properly. What I've done is put a little base coat on it, and what I'm going to do, I think I'll leave it for now. That's good enough for now. You can still see it through it, but it's loads better than it was. And then what I'm going to do is, I don't know, I'm just going to put the grey on there. It's going to annoy me. I might just rub a bit of sandpaper or something over it just to get it to stick better. The grey, so I'm just going to do those wheels with a bit of grey, touch up that bit on the grill. So we've got the Stoneleigh grey. This is the traditional Massey grey. Let's get that can open and see what it's like, alright? Got it. The Stoneleigh grey, which is the same grey as these wheels. Alright, let's move that round there. Right, I'm going to just put it on. I don't think I'm going to paint the whole wheel today. This is just for today, really. Let's see if we can. Oh, is that the same grey? Oh, flipping it! I might end up doing the whole wheel. I wonder if it dries darker. I've started something now, haven't I, people? Oh God, is that the same grey as that? It looks. How can I tell what grey this chap's used? It looks like he might have used about 3 different sorts of grey. Oh, blimmin' heck. Looks like I'm committed now to maybe painting the whole wheel. What do you reckon? Didn't really want to do that. Maybe it'll dry darker. Or maybe he's used about 300 different coats of grey. Oh, flipping heck. Do you know what? The trouble is I haven't got time to paint the whole flipping thing. And I wouldn't plan to do that. Oh, Richard, what have you done? That's definitely not the same grey as the one above it, is it? Right. Right, let's just... We could just have a two-tone. Oh! Does that look better than the... than the two-tone grey that was there before? I wonder if I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint the middles. Of this wheel. I can do that. Oh, won't take that long, will it? I'll have to. This wasn't what I planned to do today. Right, I'm going to do this and I'll come back to it. How about that? Actually, that doesn't look too bad, does it? So, it's got a different shade of grey than the front, but I don't want to get into something too big. This is about tidying up for today. Realistically, I'm going to have to match that. So, I'm not dissing the bloke who had this tractor before me, believe me, I'm not. But I don't think he probably had the right greys. I think he probably used what he had to hand. By the looks of it, he did a kind of a battleship grey on the back, and then, well, I guess maybe you buy Stoneleigh grey from different suppliers. Maybe it's a different shade, but this looks to me like he's used some multiple sources of grey paint. So I'm going to have to repaint this centre hub on this side as well, look, just to get it right. The rest of it, I think I'm fine on, but I mean, it will look a lot better anyway when it's done, because it was two-tone and I don't want it to flip in two-tone wheels. So, a bit of a bigger job than I thought. I'm missing my lunch today because I'm busy doing this, but let's crack on and get both wheels done. I'm going to have to give them a second coat tonight, I think. Right, never mind 50 shades of grey. I reckon I've got 3 shades of grey on here. Although, in my mind now, that middle section is starting to go a little bit darker. I don't know, what do you think when you look at it on camera? I don't think it glares as the wrong colour. Maybe this has just gone, maybe it just does go darker with age. What do you reckon? Just using a bit on my brush there to compare. We'll have a look at that later. That looks alright though, doesn't it, I think? Definitely better than the two-tone grey that was there before. I'm going to put a second coat on that later. In the meantime, I've got the exhaust to do. I've got some hammerite to put on there. We'll put the exhaust on later and we'll have a recap on that. And then we'll have a maybe look at it with the trailer later as well. Oh, I'm not having a good day today. Flipping it. I've just caught the can of paint. I've just moved the tractor forward and caught the can of paint. Look at that! Oh, I've tipped out over most of it on the flipping floor. It just caught the edge of the tyre. Can you believe it? I got a really old can here I'm going to have to transfer it into, but oh, fail. Oh, what a day, eh? Look at this. Oh, look at that. I've got half a can of paint on the yard on the floor and the rest of it on my hands and some of it on the wheel. I have discovered that paint in the middle is definitely drying darker as it dries. I don't think it's quite the same shade as that outer wheel rim, but it's definitely going to be all right. Look, I got the old run there, which is really annoying. Come off there, but as I said to you before, and I will repeatedly say to you again and again, this is not going to be a show tractor. So you'll have to forgive me if some of you are looking at this going, "Oh my God, I can't believe he did that. I can't believe he didn't spray it and tea-cut it and do, you know, rub it down and respray it and everything." This is not what I'm about. And if you know me, this is what I'm like. I just do a hand paint job on there and I'm happy with that. And if you look at all the tractor run tractors, you'll see there's a Heinz 57 variety of what people like and accept. And that's, I think the beauty of this is that, so whatever I do to this now, if I hand paint it and do the grey, you know, like that, 10 years time someone can come along and they can sandblast that, put it back to original paint and repaint the whole lot if they wanted to. So anything I'm doing here is not necessarily permanent. So, you know, you've got to do what you want to do with your own vehicle at the time, and then the next person who owns it will take it on and do what they want to. Because at the end of the day, when you get a tractor this old, you become the custodian rather than the owner, really. You're just keeping it for the next lot. And hopefully I'll keep this going until whoever has it next. But they can watch this video and go, I wouldn't do it like that. I've got 2 coats of paint on the wheel. We'll have a look. I'll get the trailer on it. I'll get the exhaust on and we'll have a look at it at the end, just to see what it's like before we do the deed on Monday. Right, well that's the paintwork on the bodywork of the Massey tidied up, but I've still got the exhaust to do. The exhaust that we sandblasted the other day. Look, here's a little clip. So that was sandblasted off, and you can see it's left in a sort of, we put some anti-rust paint on it, or some coating of stuff, so it's sort of a silvery colour. But I've got to paint it back to, well, I'm putting it back to white, which is the original colour of the exhaust. Now it's quite weird really, because I always thought that the exhaust would be silver or black, and people told me that it's actually white, and there was a little bit of white on the bottom of that exhaust when I first had it. But you kind of think, why would you paint an exhaust white? Surely that's the worst colour for an exhaust, because you can get soot on it and everything like that. But anyway, there's the Massey logic. But so I'm going to put what I thought I'd do. How am I going to secure it? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that broom handle in between here. Buddy's helping me, look, he's supervising. We're going to put this in here, clamp that, and then I'm going to paint it. So if I can just clamp that in there, look. Let's see if this works, look. So, let's have a look. There we go. I can paint that nicely now without having to worry and leave it there to dry. Oh, I've got the clamp on. Still got the clamp on, probably ought to take that off really. Didn't think about that. Let's just take that off. Drop that down. I should have taken it off when I sandblasted it, shouldn't I? Oh look, there's a Jubilee clip hiding under there. Sneaky. I wonder what that's for. Maybe for that to grip onto. Okay. Well, I will put that back on at some point. But right. So there's the thing. Now what I've got. Someone's subscriber or fan or whatever you like to call yourself, sent me this. This is white hammerite, which I think is probably the perfect paint for that. So I'm going to have a go at putting that on. I haven't got anything to lose really, have I? Because at the end of the day it was rusty and looked horrible. So whatever I do will be better, and hopefully that will, Hammerite's a good brand, hopefully that will be okay with heat. We'll see. I haven't got much to lose. If it doesn't work, I'll just do something else. Right, let's go and get a brush and stuff. There we go. Give that, look, stirry stick, screwdriver. Always gets thick at the bottom, doesn't it? Very nice of someone to send this to me. What, do you know what? The main thing about being sent stuff is it actually makes you get on with stuff, because otherwise I was sort of going to get round to it sometime. But once I got the stuff like that here, I will do the job. Right, let's just put this down and we'll start painting. Right. I haven't got the best brush for doing this. It's only a cheapy old one, but I think it's going to need a couple of coats. Let's don't want to put it on too thick because it tends to run if you put it on too thick. So we'll just do one coat and then we'll come back. I haven't put any red oxide on it because I'm sort of thinking maybe that will not be heat resistant. Anyway, Hammerite's pretty well, it's pretty bulletproof anyway, so I think that'd be fine. Okay, exhaust's on, tractor's painted up as best I can, so I thought we'd have a little look around the tractor because Monday I'm going to be on it, I'm not filming then. Let me just talk about that at the end anyway, but we've spent quite a bit of time doing it up. There's loads could have been done more, but the reality is there's only a time limit I can do it, and also you know, some of this stuff you've got to come back and look at later. So as I said before, you've seen in the videos we polished it all, we've cut back the oxidization, painted that wheel hub, and then in the end I just thought, you know what, I need to do the front one as well. And also I did paint these bars here because they weren't looking quite right. The guy David who had it before me painted as far as there and left that blank. I don't know why. It looked really odd, so I thought, do you know what, I can just gonna put a bit of paint on there to make it look a little bit better. But we still got the random colours here and the non-painted engine, but there's no point worrying about the engine until I sort all these leaks out, and I think I'm just gonna have to get some. Still haven't found someone who'll do it for me, but I'm gonna have to get someone and get the engine overhauled because there's dripping oil everywhere. It's not a pretty sight. Look at it, it's all down there, and diesel I think as well, so we need to sort that out at a later date, but that's nothing to worry about now. So it's looking fairly good on the tractor. Trailer, I did varnish all the sides, but when I spoke to the undertaker we decided that actually it was better to take the sides off, and I get that. So I repainted some of this down here. Lucky the varnish looks good. I'm gonna have to dust it off tomorrow. Now this is a gurney, a special coffin gurney. These things pull out. I was interesting, I've never seen one of these before. that pulls out, and obviously what you do is you pull that out and then you push the coffin on, put that back in place, and then there's no move, the coffin can't move side by side or backwards or forwards. And there's a ratchet strap here, black ratchet strap. I've got my brush ready to give it a good clean off before I go, so we'll get the dust off. And then I'm not sure whether the family are putting anything else on with him. I mean, obviously there'll be some flowers. So so here we have it, really. They're finished as good as it'll get. Flatbed trailer, Marshall trailer, lovely, nice and clean now. Tractor's looking pretty spanky, good as I can get that in the time I've had. And let's face it, this wasn't a plan when I bought this tractor. I thought it would sit in a shed for a while and just I'd contemplate what to do. So I mean, it is interesting. You know, what a thing, eh? Buying this tractor back a couple of months ago. The miracle of finding it, getting it back, and then to find out, well, to be asked to take Dave to his funeral on it, and also to find out that actually Dave would have driven it when it was new on the farm next door. So quite a thing, really. And if you believe in fate, I believe it was almost meant to be, really, the fact that I got this tractor back, the timing of it and everything. And Dave's now up there with my dad. And so when you're watching this, I'm putting this out Monday morning. I'm doing the funeral at about 12:15 on lunchtime on Monday. So I'm losing my words now, aren't I? I'll be taking this out. Hopefully the day will go well. I'm not going to post any videos or photos of that, because for me anyway, I've come as far as I can with the journey of this tractor for this event, and it's a sad family event. And as is, if they want to post any pictures or anything on Facebook or anything like that, that's their call, because it's their father and their grandfather and great grandfather, and I think that's personal to them. So I don't want to post a picture with Dave on the trailer, but you can see where we're at on it. And I'm sure any of you are watching this, you know, toast to Dave, cup of tea or something, or whatever you want to do, and a toast to all the other people, you know, your friends and relatives you might have lost over time. I'm quite honoured to be doing this. So anyway, I'll shut up now. Anyway, God bless you, Dave. God bless you, Dave.